Hi, I'm Jesse Ortiz with Bobby Jones Golf. You know, sometimes you got to get out of the shop to wake up and see what should be so obvious. A couple weeks ago, I got the opportunity to play in a country club invitational. A good friend of mine invited me out to a seniors invitational. Yes, I'm over the age of 55, so now I qualify as a senior. During the 3 days of golf that we played, it became really obvious to me how well a lot of the players were in their short game. Obviously, as you get older, you get to practice a lot more of your short game, and that's where you can really save a lot of strokes. So it didn't come as a big surprise, but what I heard from almost all the players, and we were in the second flight, so I was in with a group of pretty good players, not as good as the first, but first, second, third flight, you have some pretty good players, senior golfers that are shooting in the low 80s, high 70s, and even better than that. But almost all of them, although they could save strokes with their short game, they all seem to have one common problem: distance. And now, I'm not talking distance off the tee. A lot of them have gotten into these super light drivers. They've gotten into longer lengths. They're hitting the ball pretty far. 225, 230. That's pretty good. But where the big problem has been for most of the golfers in this age bracket, over 55, is not being able to reach the long par 4s or long par 3s. And you know what? A lot of us manufacturers, we have to carry that blame. What do you mean, Jesse? What do you mean you carry the blame? Well, over the past several years, we've pushed hybrids so much as, hey, get rid of your long irons, hit your hybrids, they're easier to hit, all that, right? And it's been true. The problem is that most golfers, as they get older, lose distance. They've gone to the hybrids to replace the long irons, but they haven't addressed the fairway wood problem. Par 5s don't seem to be that much of a problem for most mature golfers with slower swing speeds. Why? Because it's a 3 full shot distance. They hit the driver, they'll hit a fairway wood, they might hit the fairway wood again, or they might hit a long hybrid. Well, and they get up there. As long as they get close enough to where they can kind of chip, 1 putt, 2 putt, they're okay. But when you're playing 18 holes of golf, and 11 or 12 of the holes are par 4s, and another 3 of them are par 3s, out of those 12 par 4s, at least 5 of them are long enough that for most golfers with slower swing speeds, even their strongest hybrid is not enough club to get them home, or get them close enough where their short game can kick in and they can save a par or walk away at worst with just a bogey. But when the holes are too long to reach, then they've got 40, 50, 60-yard third shots into par 4s. Or you've got a long par 3 of 220, 215, 210 that your longest hybrid can't reach. And most golfers have trouble with their fairway woods because they got a 3 wood that they can't hit. So they got a strong 3 wood that they can't hit. Then they go to a 5 wood. But most of them aren't comfortable with the 5 wood either because it's a big head, it's a deep face, the weight is wrong. And so they go to their hybrids, and they've gotten used to the hybrids, but there's no way that they can get their 20 or 21 degree hybrid home on a long par 4 or a long par 3. So what do? Well, the solution is to get a 3 wood that you can really hit well with confidence. Don't give up on your fairway game. We've got a 17 degree fairway wood that is now in stock that I guarantee you'll hit farther than your current 3 wood, and you don't need a 5 wood. It'll be easier to hit than your normal 5 wood because it's shallower, it's sleeker, it's got a lower center of gravity than the one that you've got in your bag. My new 17-degree fairway wood is like a 4-wood head, but we can put it on a 3-wood length shaft. Now you get the ball airborne. You get that distance. You're going to get a lot closer to most of the long par 4s. You probably will reach most of the long par 4s now with this special fairway wood. It's been by far our most popular loft all year. And I know, because I saw many of the golfers out there at the club using it, how much better they were playing with the new 17-degree fairway wood than where they were carrying a 15-degree that they didn't want, they couldn't hit, and then jumping to a 5-wood, again, ineffectively because of its design, and then having to rely on their long hybrid and knowing that there's no way they're going to get there with the long hybrid. Don't be afraid. Don't give up on finding a great 3-wood, or a great fairway wood, better said. Like I'm telling you, my 17-degree is a 4-wood head on a 3-wood shaft. You're going to hit it further than a normal 3-wood because the ball goes a bit higher, and the way the balls are designed nowadays, you want to get them up in the air with less spin. And these clubs have a very, very thin mar-aging steel face, similar to what I used to have with the Orlemar Tri-Metal. You owe it to yourself if you're struggling to reach these par 4s in 2. Forget about trying to hit the driver further. You know that the real problem isn't so much your distance off the tee. It's the gap between the distance your driver gives you and then your next most trusted club, which is probably your hybrid and not a fairway wood. And there's just too much of a distance gap between a driver and your best hitting hybrid. Try my 17-degree fairway wood. I know you won't be disappointed. It's probably the best fairway wood I've ever made. Give it a shot. I'm Jesse Ortiz for Bobby Jones Golf. Play well, play often, and always have fun. Thank you.